This is verse 25 of the 13th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus telling another parable which illustrates the character of the kingdom, in which he indicates that a person went out and sowed good seed in his field, and then adding to the drama we have verse 25, en preposition, takes the dative, so the dative here, in to kathudain. This is an infinitive from kathudo, which means to sleep. The root of it is actually the word kata, which means down. From that is drawn the idea of laying down and sleeping, so that's the idea. In the sleeping, in the to sleep, literally the articular infinitive, you can introduce the idea of the act of, is sort of the notion, so in the act of sleeping. And the in suggests something that's happening during the act of sleeping. So that's the way it's usually translated, while they were sleeping. Infinitives will take the accusative as the subject, so tous anthropous here, the accusative plural of anthropos. So while the men were sleeping, postpositive de, but while the men were sleeping, the principal sentence now, eilthen, from erchomai I come, third person singular, aorist active indicative, so he came, out to, up front to give it emphasis, he came of him, ho ekthros, the enemy. So while he came, the enemy of him, that is this farmer who sowed the seed, came, kai epispeiren. This is from epispeiro. The word speiro means to sow. Epispeiro, only used here in the New Testament, means to sow among or sow in or sow on. So in other words, the enemy comes and is adding his own seed. The seed is called zidzania, usually translated tares. Best guess is it was a particular kind of seed that early on resembled wheat, but actually was quite poisonous, and so it's not simply something you might say a kind of a prank to sow bad seed, but actually was a malicious act that might have been calculated to bring about either the deep sickness or even death of those who might eat it. So it's a rather severe kind of attack that's contemplated here. So the enemy came and sowed this kind of tares or so on, weeds. Ana, preposition, takes the accusative. On, up, among would be the idea. Meson, on the midst. And so sowing the seeds in the midst, of course, of the good grain. To, situ, of the wheat. Situ, sitos is wheat. Kai epelthin, and went away. Aperkamai, to go away. So, of course, Jesus is going to draw the point soon enough that this enemy is Satan, who's coming in and trying to attack the good seed. In this case, it's representing something like the church, and there's going to be those planted in the church who will have malicious designs inspired by Satan, and that's the warning that this parable is calculated to advise us of and warn us against.